All right, good evening. It's your typical Monday night podcast. Joining me today, we have Mark Merrill. Mark, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I could be doing better, what happened last week. Uh,
Yeah,
those Penguins basically embarrassed the Devils out of Pittsburgh.
yeah. It was it was a good 2 games, I would say, 3 games.
Yeah. So, how was the game you went to?
Oh, the atmosphere was fantastic. The um, just the game was great. I mean, the Penguins played a fantastic defensive game. Jari played good. Goal by Matt Tennyson kind of killed us, but
Yeah, Matt Tennyson. I totally forgot he was still on the team.
I know.
What do you think about your team's performance heading into, basically the final stretch?
Um, we played Boston last night, and let me tell you something. That was a playoff game, and how we handled it was fantastic. I mean, a 1-0 victory. Jake Ensel with the only goal. A great Jari performance, and then you have defensive that shut down the top line of the Bruins who couldn't do anything.
I see. Who's that in the background? Crosby.
Which one? Yeah, right here.
Yeah, the one with I think.
Yeah, that's Crosby right here.
Yeah, that's with the cup. I think.
No, yeah. Up there's two. These are two Crosbys right here.
Yeah, we had a good time getting orders. Hopefully, we could do that again
Definitely,
one day.
definitely.
So let's start with the West. We have Vegas, we have Colorado, and now Minnesota is going to the playoffs. Out of those three teams, which one of them do you think could go on a deep run into, whether it's the Stanley Cup, Conference Finals?
I would say Vegas to the conference finals. I don't know if they're gonna get to. I don't know how the bracket's gonna go. I think it's West and what's the other one? West and because I know the Central and the East will be paired
Yeah, I
together.
think it's Central versus
Oh, the
East,
North.
and then you have Toronto, Canada, and the West. So I assume that's how the Final Four will work, unless they reseed it. I'm not really 100% sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Vegas is going to come out of the West per se.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. We still have a lot of teams, a lot of playoff berths available, and I still believe that the Colorado Avalanche don't really have strong goaltending. Yeah, they have Rantanen, they have McKinnon, but that goaltending is still a question mark for me. Would you agree, or do you think that because you have guys like McKinnon, Rantanen, Cal McCarr, that you could go on a good run despite inconsistent goaltending? I mean, Grubauer
I
is
mean,
great, but it's the backup
I would
position
say
that.
Grubauer, I think, can handle the workload. I don't know if they can win the cup just because they don't have the defensive depth you'd think they would have. But I could definitely see them going on a run in terms of how far they will go. I don't think they're going to get past Vegas. I think they're going to go with Flurry in the playoffs just based on experience. And it's just going to be hard to beat Vegas. They have such a deep team that I see Vegas going to the finals if depending on how the bracket stands. I need to see the bracket first to determine who's going. But yeah, I don't know if Colorado's a good team, so
Yeah, they do. But like we talked about on prior shows, you need depth. You need depth in goaltending. But then again, it's the playoffs, and anything could happen. So with the Minnesota Wild, we've seen it in previous years where they play up against, the Chicago Blackhawks and then they lose. I think they played Winnipeg in one year. They did beat Colorado that 13-14 season. Do you think this could be the year finally for the Minnesota Wild in the Parise and Suter era where they get past a few rounds and make a solid run? Because having those contracts, you would expect something.
um, I don't know if they have the goaltending to make a run in the playoffs. They're definitely a good team. I mean, they clinched this early. What do they have? 65, 63 points, whatever. So they're a good team this season. They have a lot of depth. They have Cole, Bernino, two guys in the on a deep Penguins team 3 years ago. that have experience, and then you have, Kirill Kaprizov, who's having a phenomenal year as a rookie, who probably will win the Calder. He gets my vote.
Yeah, I think he's probably the favorite for that award right now.
It's between him, Robertson, or Stutzla, I think.
So I want to stick to the Wild. Do you think Cam Talbot has what it takes to lead a team to a good Stanley Cup playoff run?
That's difficult. I think if he versus teams like Vegas, Colorado, Tampa, um, Florida, Carolina, I don't think they're going to win just because of the offensive powerhouses those teams carry. Depending on how the bracket's going, I don't think it's in their favor in terms of how good the West teams are, and how good, a lot of these teams offensively are. And they're not a deep, deep defensive team, and I don't think they have the goaltending to back up that defense.
Because if we look at the league standings, Vegas is currently sitting at number one. Then you have Colorado at number five. And then you have Minnesota at eight. So three of the teams that clinch the playoff spot are in the top 10. Minnesota's 31, 13, and 3. Would you? Yeah, they're 17 and 4. So would you just say they're better on home ice, or they're truly a good hockey team this year?
They're truly a good hockey team this year. I mean, a lot of teams are good on home ice.
Unless you're the Devils, you go 4 and 16.
Yeah. Well, the Penguins have the best home record in the league. I'm not trying to make everything about the Penguins, but I mean,
Hey,
home ice matters.
23 and 2 on home ice.
I mean, home ice is huge, especially in the playoffs. Like there might not be 19,000 fans screaming, but you still have that home atmosphere. You sleep in your own bed, you drive to your own rink, you know the locker room, you know the atmosphere. Home ice is, just because it's not fans doesn't mean that they don't have that advantage of sleeping in their own beds with their families. It's a different thing with COVID, but I don't think the fans matter, to change the perspective of the game. I think fans matter, just not as much as people would think.
Yeah, well, the fans do matter, but when you're playing on your home ice, you know the line changes, you know the boards, you know how the puck bounces. So that's really important. I mean, you saw it at the Joe a few times in Detroit. The bounces off the backboard of behind the crease.
Yeah.
You had those unlucky bounces, a few in Pittsburgh Stanley Cup game, the Western Conference Final with Chicago. So that's really huge home ice, and I don't think it's not sure the fans impact it, but it's all about the bounces, the boards, and that's more important than sure the fans are great, but the way you play on home ice is more important than how many people are screaming.
I agree. I mean, fans matter. Don't get me wrong. I don't want you to think that fans don't matter,
Oh, they
but
do for sure, but there's
they,
nothing
they
better than
do.
playing on your ice.
Yeah, you just know everything in terms of where the boards, how the boards bounce. Like in Nassau Coliseum, the boards are crazy. And Joe Louis Arena, well, there is no Joe Louis Arena anymore, but those boards were crazy back then. The Garden have some crazy boards too. So I mean, the
Yeah, so
boards
it's
make a difference if you know how to play against them. I mean, I've seen a lot of games where a puck. Well, I'll give you an example. In 2016, when the Penguins versus the Lightning in the Eastern Conference Finals, Ian Cole threw a puck at the boards. It bounced right to Ryan Rustick and went in for the game-winning goal. So I mean, the way you know your home ice is huge. I don't think it's about the 19,000 screaming fans.
and you guys won that game. What 1-0?
2-1. Yeah, 2-1, and then we went on to win the cup.
Yeah, that was games. Wait, Crosby scored in
That was
overtime
game
for
seven.
Oh, Crosby
Game
was game
two.
two, right?
Game two.
So I'm looking at the standings. We discussed, the Vegas Golden Knights, Colorado Avalanche, and the Minnesota Wild. Now I want to go to your Pittsburgh Penguins. You mentioned before you don't want to make it all about Pittsburgh, But we are because they are one of the hottest teams in the National Hockey League. They are 32 and 14 and 3. They're on top of the not the Metro. It's the East.
Mass Mutual East, yeah, if you wanted
Mass Mutual
the,
East.
sponsorship, you know.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll see it on jerseys within the future. So, what would you say was the turning point, if there was, for this Pittsburgh Penguins team? Because for a while they were sitting at that 4 spot, that 5 spot. Then, despite having these injuries with Malkin, they're climbing up the playoff bracket, and they're sitting in. They're basically in position for the President's Trophy. They're three
They're in
behind the
third place.
Yeah, they're 3 behind the Vegas Golden Knights. So, what was the turning point for this Pittsburgh Penguins teams? Can you make that excuse? Oh, we played the Rangers, we played the Sabres, we played the Devils, or is this a true Penguins team that can go on and win the Stanley Cup again?
I haven't seen a Penguins team like this since 2016. Um, their defense has been great despite that 7-6 game against the Devils. Their defense has been great, and a lot of people question the goaltending. Can Jari, can DeSmith carry that mantle of winning a hockey game, going 4 rounds and lifting the Stanley Cup? I think they can. After what I saw against Boston last night, a 1-0 victory, that was a playoff game. 0-0 going into the third period. We scored basically 5 minutes into the third, and then we didn't allow really an offensive chance for Boston. This team is a Stanley Cup team. I haven't seen this team in a long time, and I'm happy. Mike Matheson's playing well. Cody Cece's playing well. When Morgan went down, Crosby has been playing fantastic.
Yeah, 32 and 14, 67 points, 25 regulation wins, and a plus on your glasses, plus 34. Great home record, 23 and 2.
The best in the league.
Yeah, but that road record's 12, 11 and 1.
That's what
So,
kills us.
how important is it for you guys to win this Mass Mutual Eastern Division?
I don't think it's that important because we can win in Washington. And I don't know if we can win on Long Island, but I think we need to lock up the highest seed we can because playing home ice throughout the playoffs will get you a Stanley Cup. I mean, we've seen it time and time again where home ice gets you a cup. I mean, the last time we won the last cups, we had home ice. Last 2 cups, so.
Is there any opponent that scares you guys, or do you feel
Uh,
like since you're the hottest team in the league right now, give it all you got?
What is one team that has scared me since 2013, and that is the Boston Bruins. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the defensive forwards they have, or just Drask and the goaltending that they have. We cannot play good against them, and they scare me. They always scare me. Another team that scares me probably be Tampa once they get Kucherov back, but I have a good feeling. Teams have been. Detroit has beat them. Columbus has beat them. I'm not as scared as them, but Boston is definitely a team I would be definitely afraid to play in the playoffs.
Even though Boston doesn't really have that solid depth this year, yeah, they brought in Taylor Hall, Curtis Lazar, but this ain't the Boston Bruins that we've seen in the past, where they won the Stanley Cup in 2010, 2011, went back in 2013, they lost to the Boston Bruins, and then they fell to the St. Louis Blues in 7 games in 2019. They're currently holding that 4 spot, so if you guys do hold on to that 1 spot and win the division, Boston Bruins will be your first round matchup.
That's scary. Um, we could beat every team in the division. I think. I mean, we can beat Boston. It's going to be a 7-game series. You have guys like Marchand, Bergeron, Rask, Holt. Those guys don't quit. And then you got guys like McAvoy, who's I believe. No, he played last night, so he's not hurt. But guys like that, I mean, you have good coaching. Bruce Cassidy won the Jack Adams Award last year, so the teams, the team might not have depth scoring, but they know how to play defense. I think that's kind of the give and go, if you will. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So speaking of Taylor Hall, we've seen him miss the playoffs for many years in Edmonton. He had one run with the Devils, not really a run because we lost in 5 games in 2007 and 2018, but he
That
did
was his
have,
only playoff series, right?
yeah, he did have an MVP run that year. We saw what happened in Buffalo this year, and despite, well, actually, we'll get into that later on into the show when we talk about the Devils. Now he's on a Boston Bruins team that is holding on to a playoff berth. How hungry do you think he is, not just to prove to himself, but to prove to the teams that, didn't want to take a chance on him via free agency?
Um, he's a great player. He's a good goal scorer. He knows how to back check. So I think in terms of this is the best team he's played on. I mean, when he played in Edmonton, the best player they had was Eberle. When he played for the Devils, the best player they had
Was Taylor Hall.
was himself. I mean, besides Taylor Hall, I would probably go with Nico or Blake Coleman or Miles Wood.
Miles
That's
Wood?
pretty. Yeah, I think he's a great player. But this is the team that he has three possible future Hall of Famers in Bergeron, Marchand, and Rask. So this is the best team he's played on in his career.
And they're saying he may get extended there, or he wants to be there.
I could see him ending his career there, so they might give him an 8-year, $8 million deal. So
So let's get to these local teams now. We're going to have heavy discussions about the Rangers, the Islanders, and the Devils. I want to start with the New Jersey Devils. And despite the fact that the Buffalo Sabres went on this 18 winless streak, think about that, 18 games. And the Devils are only the Sabres are only 2 points behind the Devils. Does that say more about this Devils organization than it would say about the Buffalo Sabres, where they are today?
the Devils just cannot play good at home, and they've lost what 7 straight games.
Uh,
So
I'd say 10. 10 game losing streak.
I I know they lost 4 against the Rangers and 3 against the Penguins. So it's when you think about it, you need to win at home. You know, you can't keep losing at home and losing on the road. You have to either win at home or win on the road. You can't do both. You
Yeah,
can't
winning four
lose,
games on home ice isn't something to be proud of.
and that stinks for you because you go to a lot of the games. So you only got what to see 1 or 2 wins this year.
Basically,
I went
it's
to
like,
one. I went to one Penguin game and they got a win. That's how easy
yeah.
it is to win. I thought they were going to lose that game, but they came out playing fantastic. I mean, the Devils played a much better game. But the Penguins they're in playoff mode right now, and that's a dangerous team, especially when Malkin comes back. Remember, we don't have Malkin, we don't have Tanov. Kapanen came back, and the guy gets a goal and an assist in his first game back. So, I mean, these are the guys. They're in playoff mode, and I think the most scariest team in the league right now. Teams that go on playoff mode don't lose games.
So if you were Tom Fitzgerald, and you're going into the last day of the season, tomorrow is a whole new season. Our season basically starts. Where do you go moving forward with this New Jersey Devils organization?
You get a backup to back Mackenzie Blackwood. Um, you need to get goal scorers. I think you keep Miles Wood. Um, I don't know. It's such a tough team because are you winning or are you going to rebuild? So it's kind of
We're not
um,
winning now, that's for sure. I mean,
I know.
we have the young pieces in place, but it's just a matter of how long is it going to take?
I agree. It's a tough situation.
Like it's great that we have Nico, we have Igor, we have McLeod. I like him as a depth forward. We have he's not so you don't really know who you have. That's why it's difficult to name these players. You have Jesper Bratt, you have Pavel Zaka, you have Kokunin, you have Jack Hughes, obviously. And with the expansion draft coming up, it's like, who are we going to protect? Who are we going to keep? Because I see someone like a Miles Wood going to a team like the Seattle Kraken.
I can see that. Dougie, I'll be right back. There seems to be a problem. I'll be right back.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
I'm going to work with Stratford Rec to see what can we do about it, because I can pitch in money to start with, because we need that. Look at that. It's like, sad. The puck is crying. We need to do something.
And when she gets elected, she will do a lot of great work for this town, things that haven't been done before. She's highly respected, highly intelligent, and I'm looking forward to hearing on election day that she is your newest representative, but most importantly, your voice.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, we are back on the Doug Saravo Show. We had to take a quick commercial break, but we are back, and we are talking about the New Jersey Devils. So, for this Devils team, it seems like the way they play is they start off a little bit shaky. They play decent midway through the second, third period, and last night against the Flyers, we blew a 3-1 lead with about a minute 20 left. So, how important is it to hold leads and close out games in the National Hockey League?
I mean, we've seen it time and time again. When you have a lead in the NHL, especially going into the third period, no matter if it's a 1, 2, 3 or goal lead, you need to play defense, dump and chase. And the Devils invented that back in the day, dump and chase. You need to get the puck, dump it in the red zone, and just play hard, play on the puck. You can't give up 2, 3 goal leads in the NHL. That's how you lose hockey games. I'm looking at the standings right now as we speak. They have lost 10 in a row. They are 0-9-1. So where does it stop? Where
I don't know.
can they beat the Buffalo Sabres losing streak?
Maybe.
I mean, how many games are left?
8 games left? Sure, let's go.
Oh, well, you might tie it. Who knows? Maybe get the first overall pick.
Well, I think it's right now. It's us, Anaheim, and Buffalo.
Well, Seattle.
Yeah,
Seattle will be the top 3 because they don't have a team.
It just sucks that we go through this year in and year out.
You can't lose on the road and lose at home. If look at all the good teams in the NHL, they'll all have good home records. Why? Because you don't lose at home. You don't let someone come into your building and beat you. That is a win now mentality, and I do not think the Devils have that.
Do you think it starts with the players on the ice, or would you say it's the ownership?
I think it's the coaching. I think you guys have Jack Hughes, who kills the Penguins every time. And is having a great year, a career year. I mean, it's only his second season, but he's having a great year. You have Miles Wood, who's playing really well. Kokunin, Foot, he's been scratched the last 3 games. Don't know why. You got Malstev. You have Severson. You have Butcher. You have good guys. Blackwood's been streaky, but You guys have good guys, and I think it starts with the coaching, then ends with the players. You guys have not been playing terrible. I just think the coaching is just not there. When you're down 6-0 and you come back and lose 7-6, the next game should be a win.
Yeah, you shouldn't get blown out again and lose 5-1. It shouldn't work that way.
That's the coaching. That's not the players. That starts with the coaching. Matt Tennyson should not be the only guy who can score in that game. So where does it start? Where does it end? I think Lindy Ruff should go. Ali Nazardine should go. I think they need Mark Recchi should be probably the head coach in my opinion. He's won cups as a player, won cups as a coach. He played with Marchand Bergeron. So he's been in this era. He knows how players work. And their power play is okay. It's not the most scariest, but it's definitely Hisha's been out this whole season. So I think it starts with the coaching. Then it goes to the players. I don't think it's the players' fault. They've been playing. Me personally, when you score 3 goals, you should have a chance to win a hockey. You should not be giving up a 3-1 lead. That's just my opinion. That's just how it works in the NHL. If you have to score 3 goals, it should be pretty much a win.
Yeah, it should have been over. You would think a minute 20, having a 2-goal lead, that the game is basically over. You seal it with an empty net. But the Flyers somehow, they stayed in our zone. We couldn't get them out of there. And Giroux scored both goals. And then, of course, we lose in the shootout. So it's frustrating because it's the same thing for the past 10 years. Yeah, we had a great run in 2017-18. That should have been the upward for the New Jersey Devils. We shouldn't be going down and having to trade guys that could be a difference for us moving forward. Whether it's Taylor Hall, we should have found a way to build around him. Travis Zajac would have been a great veteran. Kyle Palmieri. We shouldn't have gone out and traded for PK Subban. Great guy on and off the ice. He's a great player, but he's for a team that's looking to win a Stanley Cup. We aren't looking to win a Stanley Cup. And
I think, me personally, I think PK Subban should, leave the NHL. He's just not a good player anymore. Or should I say an elite player anymore. And he's a liability on the ice. I mean, last year he was a minus, 10? 15, I think last year he was. I have to see what he is now, but
I mean, he came out, he admitted it. I have to be better, but when you're paying a guy $9 million, unless Nashville retained 50% of it, when you're paying him that much to basically not perform at this level, I would love to have PK Subban when he was with the Montreal Canadiens, the way he played. We're not getting that PK Subban.
He's a minus 16 this season. So, and he was a minus 21 last season. He has never been that bad in his entire career. He was only, up to when he played with the Devils, he was only minus 3 times. It was only a minus 8, 4, and 8. 2 years with the Devils, he's over, minus 40. Well, minus, 37. So, is it the Devils or is it him? I think it starts with the coaching. I mean, what was his name? Last year's coach, Hines.
John Hines.
John Hines just did nothing for a team. Lee Najadine did all right. I think he should have stayed on the coaching staff. I think he did a pretty good job. But you hired Lindy Ruff, who's a win now coach who has 750 wins in his career. Don't think this is his team. And I think they should let him go. I think they should bring in some younger coaches that know how to deal with young players. I mean, you have Hughes, Hischier, Kuokkanen, Malstev, Foote, Kevin Ball. I mean, you got all these young guys. Blackwood, you got all these young guys. Get a young coach. Get a guy who can develop these players. I mean, look at the Lightning. They draft guys in this freaking 4th, 5th, 6th round, and they become superstars.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Nashville Predators, they're 26 and 21. So, I mean, you could really blame Hines, or you could really blame the Devils organization for how they've been performing.
Maybe it's the ownership. I don't know, but something needs to change in that organization. It needs to change fairly soon because if not, they might be in deep trouble in terms of they might have to sell their team, and you don't want to do that. The Penguins been through that, and if you can't win consistently, it's going to be hard on a city. It's going to be hard on a franchise, and the Devils one playoff appearance in the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. So
it's
step it up.
It
is. As a fan, you have to be really. It's just annoying. It's annoying at this time. You buy season tickets. You enjoy yourself. You go to the games.
Yeah, I have fun either way, but I want to see my team win. I don't want to go there and be like, I'm bored.
Yeah, I know it's not fun. When I'm at the Penguins game, I have fun. We're winning.
Yeah.
And I think if they had full capacity this year, I don't think it would be sold out once. Especially with their 4 wins on home ice. So I think they need to do something. They need to do something fast because it's going to get to a point where no player's going to want to sign with you. No one wants to play hard for you, and that starts with the coaching. That's not the players. That's the coaching. Also the captain, which I appreciate Nico being captain because he's going to be that guy. He's going to be that young guy that's going to be like, look, we need to win, and we need to win now.
Yeah, we don't want to be in a situation where, hey, we have to trade Nico Hischier now.
Yeah. And sometimes you do end up in that situation. I mean, let's go back to 2000 when the Penguins had to trade Jaromir Jagr to the Capitals for basically cash because they had no money. And they were such a bad team. So it's stuff like that the Devils are dangerously close entering where they might have to trade everybody to get picks and really start from the ground up. For God's sakes, Vegas was a team 3 years ago, and now they're one of the top teams in the league, and they started from the ground up. So it might have to transition that way, but I feel bad because Jack Hughes is a really great player. Nico's a great player, and you get all these young guys that want to play. We'll see what happens. I think you need a backup for Blackwood because I think when you play back to backs.
Aaron Dell ain't gotta cut it.
Aaron Dell and Wedgwood, plays okay, but like when he came out, what was it? Dell started against the Penguins when I went to the game, and then Wedgwood came in and gave up a goal right away. You can't have that. So talking about the Devils right now, they need to move fast, and I want to show you something. This is my favorite autograph right here. The old Jack Hughes.
Oh, nice. When did you get that?
Got that a while ago. Great addition to my collection. But I love Jack Hughes. He's one of my favorite players. I love the Hughes brothers.
Yeah, I would love to get Luke.
And I think he's going to go to Seattle. But I think you guys should trade to get him because to get a young elite defenseman, they can change a franchise.
I would love to have Luke Hughes. That's what I'm going for.
I think he's the best brother too. So, like in terms of playing style, he's the tallest, he's the fastest, and he's a defender. He's an elite defenseman.
So, talking about moving fast, let's look at the New York Rangers. They started their rebuild basically in 17-18. They traded away Kevin Hayes. They got Mika Zibanejad for Derek Brassard, the former Penguin. Would you say that they are heading in the right direction despite how short their rebuild has been?
They're one piece away. I mean, you got Fox, you got Keandre Miller, Jacob Trouba, Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider. I can talk all day about the Rangers and how good they are. I mean, Shesterkin and Grigoriev. I just think they need David Quinn to get the hell out of New York. He's not a good coach on these young guys. Look, they don't have their coaching staff for one game. They put up 9 goals. So Is that an embarrassment or is that just playing hard for without your coaching staff? So I think they're one piece away from being a playoff hockey team. And then, I'm not sure if it's a defender or a forward or a backup goaltender, but it's a piece that they need to figure out.
Would you say they need a center? Because that's what my friend Nick Klein says. Shout out to him that they needed another center.
Zibanejad is one of the top centers in the league, and I think he has 17 or 18 goals this season, and he had such a bad start of the season. So imagine if he picked it up back then, how that would transpire to now. But I think that one piece away, it could be Jack Eichel.
What would they give up for a guy like Jack?
You would probably have to give up 2 first-round picks, maybe Kravtsov, and maybe another prospect. I don't know what they want. I don't know what they want in return. They would definitely give up 2 first-round picks.
So there was a lot of talk last year that they would trade Gio. So would you say that they are happy with the goaltending tandem of Igor and Gio?
I would be. Georgiev saved their asses the other night against. I'm trying to think who they just played. I know they played Buffalo. I'm trying to think of the team they played before that, but Georgiev saved their butts the other night. So in terms of, let me see, 3-2. Look at their schedule right now. So
I know they played Buffalo last night. I think they played maybe the Islanders.
I don't know if it was they played. Let's see. Oh yeah, it was Philly. They beat Philly 4-1, and Georgiev won in that game. So in terms of goalie, I think they're fine. Shesterkin has his nights, but he's having a great season. I think he has like a .924 save percentage. However, I don't know what they need in terms of being an elite hockey club. Or maybe Kako and Lafreniere to be a bit better. Sometimes you need those young guys to score. So I guess we'll see what happens in terms of what piece they pick up in offseason or a trade.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing that we started our rebuild basically before them, and here they are, building the right way, building the proper way, basically building better than the New Jersey Devils. So what would you say the window is for the Devils to make the playoffs and the window for the Rangers to make the playoffs?
The Rangers are next year. They'll make the playoffs. I'm not sure if it's the top 3 plus 2 wild cards. I think they'll make the playoffs. The Devils, I don't know. There's such a. I say they're 4 years away. They need. I say they need 2 good drafts, 2 good off seasons, and then they'll be a playoff hockey club. But you could always you could be like the New York Yankees of 2017, making the playoffs when you weren't supposed to, making a deep run. So
see, but we did that in 17-18, and here we are. We're nowhere to be found.
That's the thing. You versed a tough Lightning team, and I do not think by any means you guys played bad in that series. You couldn't get scoring. Vasilevsky, probably the best goaltender in the league. So, in terms of what you guys need, you need a lot. You need defense. You need backup goaltending. You need offense. You need everything.
Wait, is that Carl Hagelin actually in that autograph?
Which one? Yeah, it is. I don't know which way it is, but yes, it is.
Yeah, that was the one. Now I see it better. That's
this one.
Yeah, right there. That's Hagelin.
Yeah, Hagelin, the HBK
Bonino
line.
and Kessel. Yeah, that was it.
Yes.
I like that.
And it's Hagelin right here too.
When did you get that? When did you get that signed in?
No, I bought it off one of my autograph buddies.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah, it's the line of 2016. So,
is that one Letang?
yes, this one.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, it has
That's
been
the
signed.
game 6 goal.
Yep, Game 6 goal against the Sharks.
Nice. Yeah, I remember that. The Sharks scored that. Couture scored, right, and then they came back. I mean, I think a few seconds later and scored Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't know about a few seconds. It might have been like 10 minutes later, but yeah,
Yeah, I knew they bounced back and
they
got
did.
the goal.
It was a Letang dropping it for Crosby. Crosby went around the net, dumped it to Letang. Letang scored it off the side, as you can see. As you can see there, scored off the side right there.
Yeah, that was a good run for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
There was we beat two good clubs, three good clubs, I would say. Lightning, Capitals, and the Sharks were really good that year.
Yeah, they were. Sharks had a good run. Nashville also had a good run. It seemed like the Penguins played those Cinderella teams, and the Predators and Sharks just went up against a better Pittsburgh Penguins team.
A team that had more experience is really what it was.
When you have guys like Chris Letang, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny
When
Malkin, Chris Kunitz,
when
and Fleury in the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is with the Penguins, if you have Crosby sniffing a Stanley Cup, it's it's over. They're gonna win it, and I'm excited for the playoffs. This is gonna be probably one of the best playoffs season, very long time.
So if Sidney Crosby wins his fourth Stanley Cup this year, where will he be in the argument of, the greatest? You could say Alex Ovechkin's the greatest goal scorer, which he is. Wayne Gretzky is probably the best hockey player. But there are some people that like to say the best all-around player. And I think Sidney Crosby is in that category because he makes everyone around him better. He makes everyone want to win. They play like a team. So let's say he does win a fourth Stanley Cup. Will he be in that conversation that he's better than Wayne Gretzky? Or do you think there will be people that hate comparing because they're different eras of the sport?
I mean, both. I think Crosby is the best player since he got drafted, but I think Gretzky shaped some of these players to the way they play now. So it's different eras. I don't like to compare. I, as a Penguin fan, he's the best player to ever walk on this face of the earth. But Gretzky's the best player too. So I mean, there's different eras. It's hard for me to compare because me personally, I think Lemieux would have been much better than Gretzky if he didn't have cancer and all these other injuries.
All right, so let's get to the New York Islanders. A few weeks ago, I said that this is a team that has what it takes to win the Stanley Cup. But it seems like ever since the trade deadline, they've been struggling. What do you think the problem is right now in Long Island?
They're playing. They're going to be playing tough teams. It's playoff time, and they're not playing playoff hockey. I'm going to get their last couple of games up. So they lost 2 straight to the Capitals. They lost 6-3 and 1-0 in a shootout. They beat the Rangers. They beat the Flyers 1-0. They lost to Boston twice. So they've been playing playoff hockey for the last. For this whole month they've been playing. They play the Capitals, Flyers, Rangers. This whole month and the Bruins. So this is playoff hockey that they're playing, and they're not playing the playoff way. No, you can't be losing games 1-0, and you can't be losing games 6-3.
And you can tell their struggles on the road make a huge difference. 19-3 on home ice, and then you go on the road, they're like 10-11. So, how important is it for the New York Islanders to get home ice because they may start off on the road?
They might be, and that might be dangerous. Now, let's say if they play the Penguins in the first round, they might be done if they don't.
Yeah,
have
I think
home
that would
ice.
be a 5-game series.
I agree. 3 of those games in Pittsburgh, that's dangerous. So, know what they say? If you don't lose at home, it's not a playoff series. If they can't win on the road, and it goes with every team, if you can't win on the road, you're not going to win a playoff round.
Yeah, well,
But
I hate bringing it up. Look at the Los Angeles Kings of 2012.
I know. I mean, they're a team that shouldn't have even been in the playoffs. Well, was that 2012 or 20? No, I think that was 2012 when they were the 8th seed. So
Yeah, they were the 8th seed in 2012.
So let me tell you something. If a team does not have home ice, it's going to be tough to win. And if you can't win on the road during the season, you're not going to beat a playoff team at home with screaming fans, waving towels, calling you, F you, F this. So if they play the Penguins, the Capitals, I think if they play the Penguins or the Capitals away, they're going to lose.
Oh, for sure. At first I was like, oh, this Islanders team may win the Stanley Cup. I'm not thinking that anymore, honestly.
They're a great team. They're great, but the problem is they play a defensive game. Sometimes not going to work. Teams will outspeed you and make you look really stupid in your own zone because you're playing too much defensively. If you don't attack a team offensively and stay in their zone and get chances and make the goalie run around and make all the defenders run around, you're not going to win. The Islanders play a very defensive game, and it's going to hurt them in the playoffs. It hurt them last playoffs against the Lightning when the Lightning were making them look stupid. You have the defenders having no idea where Point is on the ice because he's skating circles. Barzell's a great hockey player, but when you just skate around the other team's your own zone and not go up with the puck, you're not going to win. I mean, let me tell you something. Watch an overtime game and watch how the Islanders play. I want to turn off the TV or go to sleep. It's so boring. So all they do is play in their own zone. They never attack. And that's just not how you win playoff games.
So would you say that's Trotz's system because it wasn't like that with the Washington Capitals, or would you say that's Lou's style of play?
It's both because when Lou was GM of the Devils, they played the same way. Dump and chase defense. I don't think it's Trotz because you got to realize when Trotz was in Washington, he had offensive weapons. And the Islanders, not so much.
Backy.
Yeah, in New York, he doesn't have those weapons, so he's got to play more defensive, which is okay. But when you get teams that can make moves, dangle you, go through your legs, like Crosby, they're gonna hurt you, and it's gonna be dangerous to see what happens in the future.
So going into the playoffs, would you say there's weaknesses for the New York Islanders, and what would they be?
Offense. I think Varlamov's going to be okay. I think their defense is going to be all right. But Barzell cannot be the only guy scoring for them. No Josh Bailey. Brock Nelson plays good in the playoffs. I'm trying to think because when they swept us 2 years ago, it was embarrassing. But it wasn't 7-0, 7-3 games. It was 2-1, 1-0, 3-2 defensive. And we weren't an offensive team at that time. But now we are. We got McCann. We got Bluger who can score. We got Malkin back. We got Crosby. So it's a different team. So if they play the Penguins, let me straight off. Let me go to the Capitals. I mean, you think Ovi is gonna let you once you make one mistake in your own zone, Ovi's gonna strip the puck from you, make you look really stupid, and then you're not gonna play.
Yeah, Ovi's gonna capitalize on that.
Exactly, and I think their biggest weakness is not attacking you when you should be attacked. Sometimes I watched a lot of Islander games because my girlfriend's an Islander fan, so I watched a lot of Islander games, and they just look really boring. Like they have the puck, and then they don't attack. So then the other team will just let you play in your own zone. And then when you make a stupid mistake, they're gonna go on a 2-on-1 or 3-on-2 the other way, and then capitalize on a chance, and it's gonna hurt them in the playoffs. I mean, The Lightning did it to them last year, 2-on-1s. They couldn't win in overtime, which they haven't been able to do in years. So I guess we'll see what happens in the playoffs. Playoffs is a different season, so
So if the Islanders have a round one exit, where do you see Lou and his staff going this offseason?
I think if Taylor Hall does not sign in Boston, you go after Taylor Hall. You got to. Don't know where they're going to come up with the cap for that, but you got to. I think they have to go with maybe another good defensive guy to replace Mayfield.
Do you think maybe they go
Um,
after a guy like David Savard, or do you think he would stay in Tampa?
he want to stay in Tampa just because the cap. I guess he can go after Savard. Um, but they need more offensive defenders. Like Nick Leddy has been great for them this season. He's more of an offensive defenseman, so I think you need another guy like that. Maybe try to trade for Seth Jones or Zach Rowensky, maybe.
That could be interesting. That would be a good topic to talk about when free agency comes,
They
draft
really
day.
needed they really needed Panarin when he was in free agency, and that really hurt them.
Yeah, I think
Not,
they were
not
trying to go after him and Bob.
yeah, and it's been hurting them. So, um, in terms of their offense, not like that. What they've been. It's crazy. It's funny to think about. Since Tavares left, they made the playoffs every year. No, before Tavares, they only made the playoffs twice. So, Tavares was maybe a locker room cancer. So I always think about that. Just always throw yourself. Oh, was it Tavares? I mean, this team. How is this team better from losing a guy like Tavares?
Yeah, I felt like they were better without him once we saw the way they performed in against the Penguins in that 2019 playoff, and last year in the bubble going all the way to the conference final. And the Maple Leafs they couldn't beat Boston, and they really struggled in that bubble. So I
Yeah, and they
think
lost. They
they
didn't even make it to the first round.
yeah they
They
got
lost.
out in the qualifier round. So I
Yeah, to,
guess
to Columbus. So
Islander fans could basically say, hey, we made out.
I would have liked him. I would have liked Tavares to stay on the island for many reasons, but Toronto has yet to do anything with him, and I think if they do not capitalize this year, I think it's time for Tavares to leave Toronto.
Interesting. So we talk about playoff windows, we talk about Stanley Cup windows, but out of all of the three local teams, the New York Islanders, the New York Rangers, and the New Jersey Devils, which one of these teams will go on a solid playoff run first?
Islanders. I think the Islanders are better than the Rangers. They're 120% better than the Devils. So I think the Islanders, maybe not this year, but I think they'll go on a deep playoff run.
And do you think the Islanders will retain guys like Travis Zajac and Kyle Palmieri, or do you see them walking, or you see them maybe going to a team like the Rangers? I hate to
I see.
say
I
that.
see. I see Zajac going to a team who needs a defensive forward. Maybe I don't know. I'm trying to think.
He
Probably
might go home to
Washington.
Winnipeg.
He could go to Winnipeg. They need a little bit of help over there, but I think Palmieri will stay. I think they need a guy like Palmieri who can. He had a tough season this year, but not scoring as many goals because he's normally a 20 to 25 goal scorer. I think the Devil. I don't think they. I'm sorry, the Islanders should let him walk at all.
Yeah, I think he'd be a good, solid fit for
Especially if you
the
add to that team.
Islanders.
If you add to Palmieri, Barzell,
And then Anders
Eberle,
Lee comes back healthy.
that one too. So we'll see what happens with them in the offseason or this playoff. So excuse me. So but we'll see what happens.
I hate to count Philadelphia out because they are technically a local team. So I'm going to talk about them for a few minutes. What do you think went wrong with this Philadelphia team this year? Because this was a team that I thought could have won the Stanley Cup last year. They had a solid half before COVID, and then they looked good in the bubble getting the first seed. So what went wrong with Philadelphia this year? It seemed like they basically fell off on the face of the earth, but that seems to happen to a lot of AV teams. We saw it in Vancouver. We saw it with the Rangers. They went to the Cup there his first year, and then they basically had to get rid of the guy. So is it more of AV's fault because of the system he runs, or do you just think that this they had a long off season with the bubble season ended in October and they're back playing hockey in January?
Um, it, they're such a weird team. The Flyers, I think, need to establish their goaltending. Carter Hart, is he just having a bad season? You know, is he not the guy in Philly? What do you do with Goss Spare? Is Provorov your top defender? What do you do with JVR? He has a heavy contract. Is Giroux the guy that he was when he was younger? You have a lot of questions to answer in Philly. Is AV the guy after being the first seed last year in the East and possibly not making the playoffs? Um, I don't know. I think the Rangers can make the playoffs. I really think they could if they need a little help with Buffalo and the Devils against Boston. I want to see this Rangers team in the playoffs. Not against the Penguins, but
Yeah,
I
but
really
who would you rather see though? Who would you rather see as a Penguins fan? Penguins Rangers or Penguins Bruins?
Penguins Rangers. I do not want to play the Bruins in the playoffs. I've been saying that since 2013. Please don't let the Bruins make it. Please don't let the Bruins make it. We got swept in 2013,
Yeah,
and
conference finals. I think you guys had a Vakunin net.
yeah, Volkun, Volkun, good guy. I love Volkun, but that was. Let me tell you something. That I've never been more heartbroken because I haven't seen my team in a cup in a while, and we get so close. But I don't want to play the Bruins. I would rather play the Rangers. But
Even if the Rangers go on a good run and they win,
yeah,
like
they don't have the experience to contend with a team like Pittsburgh. But I think listen, they're very. I told you they're one piece away. They have Adam Fox now, who I don't know. He might win the Norris. I mean, he's got to be in the conversation. So
he's had what 41 points I think since
I think 44 points this season.
I think I saw a stat. There's like three Rangers in the top five in points since maybe February 13th.
Yeah, he has 46 points this season, 5 goals and 41 assists for 46 points. And he's a New York native. I mean, for God's sakes, the guy he's a plus 23 on a non-playoff team at the moment. That's insane.
Yeah, he's solid. All right. I just want to talk about the St. Louis Blues for a while. They're currently holding that fourth spot. They have the Coyotes right behind them. Do you think this is a team that could make the playoffs, or do you think that they just have too many problems right now with they don't really perform well on home ice. They're like the Devils, but they have 5 more wins on home ice. They're 9-11-4. So is this a Blues team? Their goaltending, Bennington hasn't really been consistent. They had a few guys out to injury. So is this a Blues team that could make that fourth seed in the West?
um, they've struggled. I don't know if it's Berube, the coach, or is it Bennington not being the guy this season. I think I really want the Coyotes to make it. I think their Coyotes are a much better team in terms of youth and Darcy Kemper is getting back. Kessel's playing very well. Who my personal favorite player. It's just his stick, by the way. Right here.
Oh yeah, he gave it to you at the Rock.
No, my friend bought it. Buys like the Penguins equipment, and he gave it to me. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, it was used in the 2018 season.
Not
So
bad.
he's my favorite player. He's heating up. Clayton Keller is playing good. Like I said, they have Kemper back. They have Chikrin. They have Ekman Larson. They have a much better team than the Blues. And I would rather see the Coyotes play in the playoffs and in a strong playoff season.
I wonder where Andrew Mackin is.
Is he supposed to come on?
I don't know, but his Instagram is active.
That's interesting.
Maybe he's talking to Mel. Andrew, if you're watching that, I think you're talking to Mel.
Oh, jeez.
And there's another interesting playoff spot. Oh man, I should really get my ice checked. We have the Dallas Stars and the Nashville Predators basically holding on to that last playoff seed. I mean, Chicago, one game in hand, 49 points. But I think it's going to go down to Dallas and Nashville.
I think Dallas is
Chicago's
going
a
to
few
get
years
it.
away. Yeah, I think Dallas is going to end up coming out on top because John Hines' teams, we saw with the Devils, seem to always, get inconsistent towards the end of the year.
I'm trying to look at that. Yeah, Dallas has that fourth spot now. And they have a game in hand on Nashville. And they're versing Detroit. And I think they still have a lot of games against Detroit. Let me see. Where is their schedule? They verse 10. Oh, they beat Carolina. So they have another game against Carolina, another game against Tampa. Let's see how they end the season. Nashville, Florida, they have playoff games. The rest of the season is their playoffs. I want Dallas to make it. They might get Tyler Seguin back in the playoffs. I think they're a good team. Going to the Stanley Cup, I don't think it's going to happen this year, but I think they could definitely get to that point where they can make the playoffs and they can probably make a good run.
You think Chicago is close, but not yet?
They need a couple of pieces, and then they need a little more defensive help. They need a little more of offensive help. They need depth.
Yeah, they're one game over 500, and then you have that problem where their goal differential is -16.
Yeah, that's not going to help you win any games. I mean, look at all the playoff teams. Most of them are plus. Let me see. I mean, they're not going to show it to me on this one, I don't think. Let me see this one. Yeah, I mean, all these playoff teams are pluses, right? Yeah, I mean, there's not one playoff team that's a minus. Besides Montreal is a even.
Nashville is a -5.
Yeah, but they're not a playoff team right now.
Yeah.
Like I said, teams that can't score or play defense are not going to win the cup.
I mean, we've seen it with what team? There's a team where I wonder what team I'm thinking of. There's a team that had like a good stretch where they would give up a lot of goals, but they would also score a lot. But you can't always rely on that in the playoffs.
No, you can't play 6 to 5 games every time. It's just you're not going to win hockey games like that. I mean, you could have won maybe 5 in a row like that, but then your team gets tired trying to outscore your opponent.
Yeah, that was a problem with the Devils the last few years. We would play good, but we would give up a lot of goals. And if you're looking at this Devils team, if we didn't give up 7 goals to Pittsburgh or 5 goals to Pittsburgh, we could have won one of those games. But there's a lot of issues going on in New Jersey right now.
Yeah, more than a lot.
Yep. At least Jacob deGrom does everything. We can't rely on Nico Heischer, Jack Hughes to play offense, defense, and goalie. It's we need a system in place.
I got for hope to God that Jack Hughes isn't playing goaltender.
Yeah,
Too
well,
small.
oh yeah, he's too small to be a goalie. But I think for the Devils, we need to find a backup because you can't rely on Aaron Dell. You can't rely on
I
Scott
thought he was your
Wedgwood.
favorite player,
Who?
Aaron Dell.
No,
What do you mean no?
I never liked the guy. He was good on like a Maple Leaf team or a Shark team, but he's not gonna be good on a Devils team when you have these players that don't have
He's
experience.
he's my favorite player.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. I look at your Crosby and I'm like, why haven't I gotten him yet?
you're not that skilled yet, Doug. You can't
But
you
he
can't
was
get
standing like 2 feet away from me, and I have my thing behind me.
a.
And
Let me get the thing I got in Jersey. I'll get it for you. Give me 2 seconds.
oh wait, I gotta hold on. Let me show you mine too. Yeah, let me show you the thing I have signed. I think Malkin signed it.
This is what I got signed.
I was there for that, I think.
You might have been. I don't. I also got this at the game.
Oh, you bought that?
Yeah,
Rusty?
Rusty baby.
Alright, so I'm looking at my autograph. So, the guy up there, right? That's, right there is Malkin, where my hand is.
Yeah, Carter Rowney. You got Carter Rowney on that as well.
Where?
Let me see. Hold it up.
I know I think I got Dumoulin.
The one on the far, like right by Malkin.
Yeah?
That's Carter Rowney. The C, like the real bunched up autograph.
37?
Yeah, it's Carter Rowney.
I'm trying to think. I don't think that was Zakhoff.
No, he didn't play with Rowney.
Jeff Zakhoff autograph. And I think I got Trevor Daly.
Let me see. I have to look at it.
Oh wait, this looks like I'm on Google. That looks like Zakhoff.
Let me see. Which one?
This one right here.
No, that's Carter Rowney. Trust me, I know.
He wore 37?
Yep. Stanley Cup champion.
I thought he wore 24.
No, I don't know who that was. That might have been when he played on Anaheim.
That's Dumo. And that's Trevor Daly, right? Number 6.
Maybe. I can't really see that well, but yeah,
Yeah,
it looks pretty.
that was Trevor Daly. Yeah, and then I had this out there. Crosby was there. I think Mac was below me. And I was like, yo, Sydney, can you sign? Sid, yo, Crosby. And then he just left. Like, I had it up there, and then he just kept walking. I'm gonna have to get him one day.
Come to Pittsburgh,
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna do a trip.
but you have to shave.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
he doesn't. He doesn't. Unless you have a kid with you, he's not going to sign.
Who? Crosby?
Yeah, but if you shave, you might look younger.
No, I do look younger. I went to a bar the other day. This girl, this bartender, she was like 22 or something.
Girlfriend?
No, she's a bartender there.
Oh,
And almost every bar I go to, I don't get checked.
really?
And then she's like, "Let me see your ID." I was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Okay, that's the first time." So I give her my ID, and she's like, "Okay, cool." And I'm thinking to myself,
Maybe she just wanted to know where you lived.
maybe. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I'm asking her, "How old do you think I am?" She's like, "Oh, I imagine how you would look without the beard." All right, how old do you think I was? Like 19 and 20. I'm like, that's funny because a lot of people think I'm like 30 or freaking 40.
You want to see one of my most favorite autographs ever?
Yeah. Oh, I can't see. All right, I see the White House. Don, is that real?
No, it's auto pen. But I sent a letter to the White House.
Oh, you did, and they sent that back.
Yeah, he sent both of these back. That's president right here.
Hell yeah! I hope YouTube don't take us down.
I went to go get something for you, and that's what popped out. But I want to show you my Sidney Crosby game puck.
Don't tell me you got that sign when I tried.
Yep. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say I get such bad luck getting these autos.
No, you know what? We gotta start an autograph podcast. I feel like I have so much to show and so much to.
Yeah, we
to
should
talk
do that.
about.
We have me, we have you, we have Mac.
And I have Henry, my friend. You remember Henry?
Yeah, I remember Henry. I still talk to him. We could have Henry on. We could talk our autos we got. Maybe we could have Sid on and ask him how come he always avoids me.
Honestly, I could probably get Brian Dumlin to come on.
Yeah?
I have his agent's number, so.
How?
Oh, I have my ways.
Yo, we should try and do that.
We should message a player and be like, "Hey, come on the Doug Saravo show and talk about, have a Q&A."
Yeah, we could do that. We gotta be like professional.
Yeah, dress in suits and ties and.
Yeah, come on. That'd be cool to interview Dumo.
Or get at least get like Wayne Whitney or like a hockey player or something.
Yeah, well, you know the people, so you do that.
I'll try.
Be like, hey, I'm part of Saravo Broadcasting. Would you like to
But I
come
don't
on
get paid, so.
Yeah, that's the thing. Do they have to be paid to come on?
Oh, no, probably not.
What are you implying? I should pay you?
No, I'm not.
Don't worry.
I mean, wouldn't impose, but
Don't worry. If this ever makes it big, you'll get your share.
I'll be compensated.
Yeah, you would have to if we're making it big and we get paid. Yeah, of course.
Okay. I should get paid $100 per show I've been in.
So far that's what, like $500?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we could have like a guy like Dumo on, that would be good.
I know. I would enjoy myself talking to a guy like that's played and been in the NHL.
Yeah, talk about his career, winning Stanley Cups, which cup was better, 17 or 16. Any
How's he doing with his wife? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Does he have kids?
Yeah, I think he has a little girl. I think.
Not bad.
No.
But yeah, try and have him on.
I'll make some phone calls.
Yeah, that would be cool. Dumo or anyone, any penguin.
or any player. Kyle Palmieri, maybe.
Yeah, we could try. Trying to wait. Trying to see your autographs. I can't really see.
Trying to analyze my autographs. I have too many. If you think these are just my one wall, I have a whole bunch over here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so.
So I can't. All right, you see where that Letang goal is?
Which one? I'll take you around. I'll do a little room tour.
The Stanley Cup one. I can't
This
tell if
one.
that's. All right,
This
to
is
the left.
Mario Lemieux. This.
No, to the left. That's is that Murray
Who?
with the cup? Matt Murray.
This guy you talking about?
Yeah, that one
That's Mario Lemieux.
with the cup.
Yeah.
No, to the left. There's Mario.
This guy?
No, that's Mario.
No, this is Brian Dumoulin.
No, the one with the Stanley Cup.
What are you talking about, Dougie?
To the left of Mario, there's a goalie lifting the cup.
Yeah, I said that's Fleury.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, it's Fleury. There's some down here too.
Did Holtby sign that?
This one?
The Bonino.
I don't think he's gonna sign that.
See, because I always wanted to do that, where I have Henrique sign the one of him and Lundqvist, and have Henrik sign it too. Panarin.
Here's my Tampa Bay Lightning wall.
Oh, you have them organized by team?
I have a goalie wall over here. This is all the goalies. There's your guy Marty.
Marty.
And then this is the Penguin wall. This is just good teams. This I also have more stuff over here, but
Do you have like a fourth line wall?
no, I wish. I'm actually in the process of getting more autographs, so I'll take some down, put some more up.
Got like a Kevin Rooney section.
No, I actually have a Redeems the Horner section.
Who?
Redeems the Horner from the Penguins.
Oh yeah, we were talking about him on that one show.
Mm-hmm. He's been scratched on his couple games.
I still can't believe you put "Let's Go Pens" as your name.
I'm sorry, we have a 4-game win streak. I have to.
Well, they are the hottest. They are the hottest team in the league right now. So
They are. Gotta show who's ever watching tonight that the Penguins right here. Let's go. Let's go Pens.
yeah, let's go Pens. It'd be nice to see them win another Stanley Cup.
I would have to add to my Penguins wall.
Yeah, I mean, for an organization that that went through those years of first you could talk about the years of trying to sell, and then when they won the Stanley Cup, they went through those tough years of trying to go on a playoff run, and they failed. They couldn't do that. They lost to the Rangers in 2015 or 14. It might have been. They lost to
We lost to them 2 years in a row.
They lost to the Flyers in 2012, and then they finally go on a run in 2016. They win another one in 2017. I think they could have won one in 2000. Last year before COVID happened. And now they look.
2018 when we lost to the Capitals. I don't talk about that season.
Now they're looking like they could win another Stanley Cup this year. So,
hopefully,
would you say it's the system in place? Would you say it's Mario Lemieux? Would you say it's Mike Sullivan that the Penguins are basically consistent at being one of the best teams in the league?
It's Crosby, it's Sully, it's Lemieux, it's Hextall, it's everybody. It's a group effort. It's not one guy. It's still everybody.
I don't know how to word this question, but would you say, because there were a lot of people in talks for the GM job, Fitzgerald was one of them. Would you say the Penguins would be where they are today if they ended up hiring Tom Fitzgerald, or would you say that fortunately they were able to get Ron Hextall?
I don't know. That's a what if question that is very up in the air. I think they could have, maybe not got Jeff Carter, but try to get Hole. There's a lot of different things that could have happened.
And when Gino comes back, where do you think Carter fits? Would he be on the fourth line? Would he stay on the third line?
I think he stays on the second line. You drop Zucker down to the third line, and you put Carter on the wing, keep McCann, Malkin, and Carter.
That's a solid line. I think the Penguins have more depth than I gave them credit for.
Rodriguez is playing good. Bluger is probably one of our most underrated players. Our defense has been extraordinary. Our goaltending is finally being what it was supposed to be. This is a dangerous team.
It is, especially the way they've been playing. Now, see, the thing is, they are getting hot at the right time again. You saw this in 16-17. You saw it in 15-16. And now we're seeing it in 21 where they're getting hot, where there's 8 games left, and you're going to go into the postseason again on a hot streak. So I think this is basically the Penguins' best opportunity to win a Stanley Cup.
Don't give me chills, Dougie. I'm getting chills right now thinking about the Penguins lifting the cup. I mean, I would. There's a lot of things that I would do because it's just such a when you see a team lift the trophy, it's such a I don't know the word. It's such a
there's no word for that. Like even when the Kings lifted the cup in 2012, I hated it, but I still enjoyed watching them skate with it.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
was you old enough? Were you old enough to watch the early 2000s ones?
I remember 2003.
How old were you? Were you 8?
I was 9 years old, so I was in my living room. I remember watching that playoffs, and that's when I basically became a Devil fan because of Marty Brodeur and that cup run.
Yeah. What do you think about that? I think it was the 2000s. Was it 03 when Jaguar won the Conn Smythe?
Yeah, that should have been Marty's.
Yeah, you think it should have been Marty's?
It should, because if you think about it, he had 3 shutouts in the Stanley Cup final, I think.
Yeah, he had 7 shutouts in the playoffs.
He had 7 shutouts in the playoffs, and basically he could have it could have been a make or break situation for the Devils because if Marty didn't win us those games, the Anaheim Ducks would have won the Stanley Cup that year. Especially Game 7, you would think. Because if you look
they didn't score, right?
Yeah, the Ducks we shut them out. So if you think about those other games, I mean maybe they base it off of the way Marty played on the road or the way how the Devils played on the road because hold on, let me pull this up because I don't remember, but we looked consistent. We were like a little bit inconsistent in that Stanley Cup final. Let's see, 2003 Stanley Cup final. But Marty did it best when they were announcing the Conn Smythe. Of course the Devil fans they were booing, but Marty after Jaguar left, Marty skated out and put his hands up and be like, "Yeah, I got the cup. That's all I want." All right, so let's see, 2000 Stanley Cup Finals, but still, I think it should still go to the winning team, regardless.
The Penguins weren't that bad. They were only 27, 44, and 6 that year.
Yeah, so Game 1, Game 2, we won both of those games 3-0, and we won Game 7, I believe, 3-0.
Oh, Anaheim was the 7th seed in that playoffs, which is insane.
Yeah, and you look at Game 4, we lost that game 1-0 in overtime. Game 3, we lost 3-2 in overtime. So realistically, if we're thinking about this, Mark, we could have won that series in 4 games. Same thing too with the 2012 Stanley Cup Final. Game one was overtime. Game two was overtime. Game three, we basically got embarrassed. Game four, we won. So if we win game one and game two in the 2012 Stanley Cup Finals, we could have won a fourth Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And then game five, we won 6-3. And then game six, we lost 5-2. So maybe they're looking at that. He gave up 5 goals. He gave up 5 goals in game six. Struggled in game three. I don't know, but still, I think Marty should have won that Conn Smythe. He was one of the reasons why the Devils won that series. Having 3 shutouts. Yeah, you have great guys on defense, but still, without Marty playing great between the pipes, we wouldn't have won that cup.
Yeah.
And I think who was in the conference finals? I know we played Ottawa. Was it the Wild?
I think they versed Anaheim.
That was the Wild?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up. Yeah, they swept the Ducks. Oh, the Ducks only scored 1 goal in that entire series. It was game one was 1-0 Ducks. Game two was 2-0 Ducks. Game three was 4-0 Ducks, and game four was 2-1 Ducks.
So maybe that's why they gave it to Zagir.
I mean, only 1 goal in the conference finals. That's kind of embarrassing. Let me see if you guess stats.
But still, normally you base it off of what they do in the Stanley Cup final.
Kinda, I guess.
I mean, that's how I would do it. I mean, sure, you can have a great postseason, but
I mean, my favorite player in that Stanley Cup had to be Grant Marshall.
yeah, I think he scored a game-winning goal. I think it was maybe Game 5 against Tampa.
Oh my God, Tampa! Will they have made the playoffs that year?
Yeah, we played the first round against Boston. Then the second round we played Tampa, and then we played Ottawa in the conference finals. And then that series was up and down too. We could have lost that series.
Let's see. Yeah, that's 2004.
And then Anaheim played Detroit. They played Dallas, and then they played the Wild.
Yeah, no, you guys played. Oh, you guys did play Tampa. Then you versed Ottawa. I see that now. We did not make the playoffs that year, as we finished second to last.
Yeah, and then you guys got Crosby 3 years later.
Yeah. He's okay. He turned out okay.
Yeah, Minnesota played back-to-back 7-game series. St. Louis. Wait, hold on. Yeah, Colorado. Then they played Vancouver, and then they got swept to Anaheim.
Yeah.
Yeah, those.
Doug, I actually just got a Jack Hughes autograph the other day.
Yeah, I got him on a puck somewhere actually.
And I got him. It was the one from Fanatics where he scored his first NHL goal.
Yeah, you see how small he looks?
He looks so tiny. He's like this big. Are you gonna get the Devils alternate? Do you buy jerseys or no?
Yeah, I've the last Devil jersey I bought was Nico, but for my 10 years, I'm due for
I got up and I want to show you something.
my 2 jerseys. So I put down a Jack Hughes and a Mackenzie Blackwood. So I'm still waiting to get those. I'm not sure. I assume it's next year. Who's that? Jack.
Wait. I got this 2 years ago.
You don't wear it?
I COVID.
Oh yeah, you don't have a game to take it to. Henry's got a lot of jerseys.
He's been selling a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have Quinn Hughes.
Was that Fanatics?
Unfortunately, my mom made a mistake.
No way. How did that happen?
Well, she doesn't know how to buy jerseys. It was for Christmas, and she bought the Fanatics one, which is okay because I wear that when I play roller hockey.
Yeah, that's what I do. I have like a Van Riemsdyk Maple Leaf. I have a James Neal Vegas. I have a Wayne Simmons Devils. I wear that when I play roller hockey.
And I have a Marc-Andre Fleury China fake jersey, and I wear that when I play goalie.
You should come down to Jersey one time and play hockey with us.
Yeah, maybe I will do that when I come back. I have goalie equipment. Maybe I'll suit up.
Yeah, suit up. Yeah, we're playing a pickup game on Wednesday. Hopefully,
I come back to New York May 5th.
Hopefully, I score a goal against James. Well, we'll be playing all year.
Nice. Where is it? Where do you guys play?
Right by my house, the Monroe Rec Center.
Ah, my favorite county in New Jersey, Monroe.
But yeah, I'll be mic'd up on Wednesday.
Does a lot of people play there, or is it just you guys mostly?
A lot of people when we play, it's like maybe 20 guys, 10 on each team, 4 subs.
Oh, that's a lot. Do you guys play with goalies?
Yeah, James is goalie, and then this guy is like 70 years old. He plays.
So maybe I could be backup goalie. Sit on the bench and
yeah, maybe.
Go. James is probably 1,000 times better than. I don't wear skates when I play goalie though because I like to. I move better without skates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I play. I rather play foot than I play roller.
We gotta play some deck hockey. I love playing deck hockey. I don't know, it's just fun. Roller hockey is fun.
But yeah, come by one time and play.
Yeah, I'll bring James.
Oh,
remember James?
Yeah, short kid. He's a short kid.
He's not that short, but he's the Lightning fan.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should even come. Yeah, we'll play hockey one day, and then you guys can come over. I'll destroy you on NHL.
I'm in the Gaming World Championships next week, so wish me luck.
Good luck. And then I can show you this. I can show you the Sarama Broadcasting Studio. Give you guys a tour. I can
show you my studio right now. Oh wait, it's just my autograph collection.
And then we could do a show in the studio.
That would be pretty cool. I would enjoy that.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I want to order a green screen.
Yeah, I should get one on Amazon. Do you have good pizza by your house?
You gotta go to Danino's. It's in Aberdeen.
Oh yeah. They have a Danino's.
Yeah,
they have a Danino's here. Yeah. Oh, you live here.
Yeah, I know Staten Island.
Is the Danino's in Jersey as good as the one in Staten Island?
I think it's the same people.
I don't know. Is it? Because there's one in Manhattan too.
No, I think they come from Jersey or something. I think they come from Staten Island and they go to Jersey, or is it different? I'm not sure, but the pizza tastes the same.
Oh, okay. So maybe we'll order from Danino's in Jersey, and maybe we'll hang out.
Yeah, why not?
Maybe I'll bring Mac.
Yeah, we could bring Mac, and then we'll surprise him with Mel. He gets so annoyed when you bring her up.
I know. Well, how come you moved to Jersey if you don't mind? It's only a half hour away.
Yeah, it's not far.
Do you come to Jersey? I mean, do you come to Staten Island?
Oh, yeah, I'm always there.
Oh, really? You don't come visit me?
You're in Pittsburgh.
Not right now. I'm in New York at the moment. But...
Well, during the summer, I'll come by. We'll go grab some drinks somewhere if New York's open.
Yeah, definitely.
Have a good time. We'll bring Mac. We'll set him up with Mel. Get him aggravated.
Oh God.
He sure loves her. But yeah, I remember she came to, I think, what team we were waiting for? Colorado, maybe.
Probably, for McKinnon for him.
Yeah, he got so excited, like, yo, Big Nate, yo.
He was probably getting a little too excited, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But this was a great show. I do have to get back because I have finals tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we were ending it anyway because we basically discussed everything we had to discuss today, from the teams that already clinched a playoff berth. We talked about key topics for the local teams, the Devils, the Rangers, the Islanders. Talked about the Penguins, the Flyers, and we basically bullshitted the last half hour, which is part of your typical Monday night podcast.
Dougie, it's been a pleasure. Sorry this is kind of rushing you here, but once
No,
finals
all
week
good.
is over.
I was gonna end it anyway in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me once again, and next time we talk, we'll be talking about the playoff bracket.
Yeah, we get to know who's in it and how it works, hopefully.
Hopefully. Well, thank you for having me again, and let's go Pens.
Let's go Devils. Cheers to the off season.
Thank you.
All right, take care, Mark. I'll see you around.
Yep.
All right, take care. That was Mark Merrill, the diehard Penguin fan. A little bit story about how Mark and I met is, we met waiting for autographs at a Devils game. I don't remember what team it was because, we stay after for every team. It could be the Avalanche, Sabres, Rangers, and then we wait over for the Devils sides. Well, Andrew Mackin, who's been on the show the past few episodes, I'm going to try and get the video up here to play it next time, but we were waiting for the Penguins. That might have been how I met Mark too. And he got Sidney Crosby. He was so excited. I took a video of it on Snap. He's like, yo, let me get your Snap. And we just started to become friends. And, couldn't have been prouder. I found a great group of friends, love sports, building podcasts together. Thank you for all those who support Saravo Broadcasting, the Doug Saravo Show, Faith, Life, and Death. We appreciate you, and there's going to be an NFL draft preview with Kyle Esposito and myself. So we'll see you guys next time. But right now, Dougie, it's time to go.
Growing up, I wanted to be in the NHL. I wanted to be just like my idol, Martin Brodeur. In life, sometimes you win some, but sometimes you will lose some. Being successful isn't about chasing a paycheck. Being successful is about chasing your passion and building a foundation to where you want to be. You only live once, so you might as well do what you love. Think big. Don't just settle. People are going to hate, doubt, and tell you that you can't. But if you put your mind to something, nothing is impossible. Think big.